Over the last few years in Chelmsford, we've seen a huge growth in the number of homes being built, and that has also had a huge increase in the cost of houses, and that has an affordability problem for many of our local residents. We've seen in Chelmsford an increase year on year in the number of people applying to the City Council for help with their housing, and of course we have a duty to help those who are most in need.
Here we come.
To meet the growing need in Chelmsford, we are looking to increase the number of properties that we have. Homes2Lease is a scheme that we work with local landlords, where we offer them a competitive rent, and in return we are able to offer our tenants on the housing waiting list good quality accommodation.
As a landlord, the guaranteed rent was a very good selling point to me. The other part was no management fees. Often you pay between 10 to 15% to estate agents if they are renting your property. Also, there's some elements of repair involved here. So if something minor goes wrong, they take care of it, and having the peace of mind that my rent gets paid, whatever happens, because Chelmsford City Council are in effect my tenants, and they are responsible for paying the rent.
We were originally private renting in Chelmsford. Unfortunately, the landlord sold the property, so we had to find somewhere. There was nothing in Chelmsford that we could afford. With my partner working in Chelmsford, it was imperative that we stayed in Chelmsford. Everyone at Chelmsford City Council were very helpful. We were placed in temporary accommodation in Wickford. Unfortunately, it wasn't suitable for our needs, with one child and one on the way. I was 8 months pregnant. We had difficulty getting up and down the stairs with 2 children. The scheme's been great. It's helped us be located back in Chelmsford. The property's more suitable for our needs. I'm back close to family network and my partner's work. We can live our lives like we normally did prior to being on housing. Even though the property is temporary, it gives us the space and family life that we need so we can carry on living our lives. We've got peace of mind that we're not going to be moved around until we've found something more permanent through social housing, which is, with a small family, is a big relief to us.
Once you've decided to join the Council's Home2Lease scheme, it's my team that will deal with the legal paperwork. It's an important part of the process, as it will set out your responsibilities and those of the Council during that time. We've streamlined the process as much as possible, but there are inevitably things that we need to check out before we can complete the lease and, of course, start paying you rent. To begin with, we'll investigate your property's registered title to make sure there's nothing that would prevent us signing you up. Some examples are, we'd need to look at who the owners are, as they will all need to sign the papers. We'll also need to check if you have a mortgage, as we'll need the consent of your lender. If you own the property under a lease arrangement, we may need the consent of your landlord. And finally, if there are any other restrictions over the property, such as rights of way, we'll also need to know what they are too. Once all this is done, we'll send a draft lease to you for your approval. This sets out in the one place all the things we've agreed, such as how much we will pay you, how long we'll manage the property for, how we will deal with damage to the property, and what needs to be done if either you or the Council have problems with the way the arrangement is working or want to bring it to an end. If you're unsure about any part of the lease, I'm afraid we can't give you legal advice, so you'll need to ask for this from an independent advisor. That said, the lease has been designed to be as landlord-friendly as possible, and we really hope you'll agree. If you're happy to proceed, you'll need to sign 2 copies of the lease and return them to us. We'll have to do some last-minute checks, but once we're happy with the information we get back, we can complete the lease and return a copy to you for safekeeping. It's in all our interests to complete the transaction as swiftly as possible, and we're committed to doing just that in the legal team.
As a landlord, there are 4 key benefits to the Home2Lease scheme. Firstly, there's no management fee. Secondly, we give you a 3% uplift each and every year. We also pay up to £1,000 for any repairs that might be necessary. And of course, there's a guaranteed monthly rental. We recognise that other than your own home, your property that you allow us to rent from you is probably your most valuable asset, both to you and your family. Therefore, we provide you with a complete tenancy management service, which includes regular inspections for the lifetime that we hold your asset. The process, if we take over your property for lease, is that we'll complete the lease and then we will take over the management of the property and you will be paid a monthly sum from the commencement of the lease. Of course, life isn't straightforward and not every tenant will look after the property in the way that you would look after it yourself. But our commitment to you is that we'll return the property in the same condition that we leased it from you. We really hope you take the opportunity to join the Homes2Lease scheme because we believe there's something in it for everyone. Firstly, we provide a decent home for the tenant. Secondly, the council meets its duty to provide accommodation, and of course you as a landlord are set to get a rental which is higher than you'd probably earn in the private sector rental market, and of course you don't have the hassle of managing the property.